Welcome back.
To three-way call.
Britt Fallon Star. Today we're going to be talking about what us ladies might think is bare minimum and our partner might think is princess treatment. Also, some non-negotiables that you ladies expect in relationships. So I know briefly Britt and I had did a poll on both of our stories to get some answers from you guys about what you thought.
Who?
Hop right in. For me, recently, I feel like my standards most of my life have been extremely low, like really low, but I'm living thinking that I have like high standards. And then I'm like thinking back and I'm like, no, I really don't have high standards. So, I
Uh-huh.
mean, I do now. Let's just put that out there.
Yeah,
Okay? But
yeah.
that's
Mhm.
called healing, ladies, and
Uh,
therapy and work. So
yes.
I'm there now, but looking back, I'm like, I really didn't have like non-negotiables, expectations. Like I didn't really have any of that, which is kind of terrible. And it kind of like shows, I guess, how my relationships have been in the past. But it's like now, having been through all that, I do have non-negotiables and expectations. And I'm not afraid to say that I just want to be treated like a queen because one, I've never been
Yeah.
treated like a queen. Okay. I'm the one treating them like a queen. I've been that way my whole life in all my relationships. I'm spoiling them. I'm taking them to do this. I'm paying for this. I'm planning this. Like, I'm doing all these things. I'm opening the door. You know, guys, I literally started
No.
like thinking back. And
Oh
even now, I think I'm like, I am literally, like, even if I'm with my guy friends, I'm literally opening the door for them. But I will say, I think that's just because I have such a huge hospitality background in customer service. And like part of my job for 10 years, like working in specific corporate restaurants, was always opening and closing the door like after people, you know?
Yeah.
So I think I got that in habit, but I just started realizing I'm like, not only am I doing everything, but I'm not even like creating space for them to do it to me first, which I think
Mm-hmm.
is a
Mhm.
big thing. So I've been
Mm-hmm.
trying to really focus on maybe just laying back, taking a quick sec, seeing like, are they going to open my door? Are they going to,
Mm.
pay for this? So that's just kind of where I'm at now because I'm constantly like, okay, I got it. I'll pay for it, or I'll do this, I'll do that. So right now, like my non-negotiables are I want to be treated like a queen. I want you to open my door, you know, when we're in and out at restaurants or wherever we're going, my car door, I want you to open. Okay, I
Love.
want you
Love,
to
love.
pay without us even having a conversation. And I want you to plan things for me. I want you to be like, I'm picking you up here, I'm taking you here. This is what we're doing. Like I want that assertiveness as well. So I just feel
I
like
love that for you, Val.
Mhm.
Yeah, just because you're so giving, like naturally, you're so giving and you're so caring. So now that you have been through your healing journey and you are giving space, as you mentioned, for just opening up that opportunity, girl. I love
Yeah,
that for you.
absolutely.
Fun.
But I will say I am still like obviously we're not 100% healed. Like we never will be, we're always constantly healing and learning and things like that. So it's like I am finding myself going back and forth with myself like, you know, one, are there people that are gonna want to treat me like that? I haven't met anyone that's done that before. So am I gonna meet someone that's gonna treat me like a queen, that's gonna do these things, And then it's like I have to snap out of it and be like, yes, there are people, like I know a million relationships where people are treated that way, like that will happen for me.
It
So
will.
it's an ongoing battle, but I think
It
I'm
is.
definitely steps ahead from where I was.
And now you'll
Agreed.
be
Yeah,
able to
and you
spot them
will.
so much faster.
Exactly.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. 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 Nope.
So, well, yeah, so where I was going with all that is I noticed when I was posting on my story and I was asking like what's considered princess treatment, what's not. I was getting a lot of like common things like that, like all like me wanting him to always open my door for me or, yeah, always walking me to the car or this and that. Like I think a lot of times like people in the early stages of relationships will go all out and do all these things, right? And then we get comfortable and then that backs away. And so it's like sometimes when we're on the receiving end of that, it makes us think like, oh, are you not into me anymore? Or oh, like you do you just not care as much? Or were you just putting on a show to get with me? Like, you know what I mean?
Right. Like, why start out trying to be top notch, get an A plus plus, and then, okay, I'm done with that. You know, it's
Right.
annoying. But I'd say some non-negotiables for me. Because again, we were talking about in the last episode where in my past relationships, I never really put up any like firm boundaries. And I think it goes hand in hand with never really having sat down with myself and thinking like, what are my expectations? What are my non-negotiables? And so I gotta say, really, really lucky with Huz because he does a lot of things that I knew right out the gate, wow, I've never experienced this, like opening my door. In fact, he actually gets mad when I open my own door, especially if we're in a rush to get somewhere. And I'm like, I just want to get out of this car. He gets so frustrated. He's like, can you just wait for me to come open it? Just little things like that that really make just make us feel special, like you said, Fa, like we are the queens that we are. But I think for me, it's just valuing because now I am in this beautiful partnership of keeping some of that me time, right? And so I think, yeah, we want to make sure what we're building is going to be just kind of we're going to sit down together actually and align what it is that we're working on, but having that time to go out with my girlfriends and just have our dinners and things like that is still really important to me. Obviously, I'm prioritizing my marriage, but at the same time, I want to have that balance of like Star is still Star inside of her marriage. That's huge for
Yes.
me.
Plus, we love when he hangs out too, though.
He's
Yeah, I was
always
gonna say,
security.
He's
not
our
only, yeah,
security.
not only does he treat you like a queen, he treats all
Yeah,
of us like queens.
exact.
Okay.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
I'll say I'm like his second wife. Okay. He's
Hell
always
yeah.
been the sweetest, most caring guy ever. And I remember like when Star and I used to work together, um, this was when she was just starting to like slowly date him, or maybe not even before they even actually started dating. I mean, he's like constantly showering her with things, like
Mhm.
taking her places, doing these things, buying her things like flowers, like you name it, everything. I just felt like at work, it was just, he's coming in to just drop this off or to bring this to her, to do this to her. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, who is this man? And yeah, you guys have been together ever since. And, I've known him as long as basically you've known him, right? And
Yeah.
which is crazy to say.
That's so
But to me,
crazy.
I'm like, he still has not change. Like how I was saying earlier in the episode, like most of the time, well, I don't want to say go out on the limb and say most, but a lot of the times people will back away from those things, and that wasn't really who they were in the beginning, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But in your case, that really is truly who he is in his soul. He's a very
Yeah.
Yeah.
giving man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
girl. Such a good point. Like
Yeah.
he's one of a, and that's why I'm like, I don't know how I got so lucky because I didn't have like, I didn't even know that should have these things in place. And he's taught me a lot though. Like I also want to treat him like the king he is,
Oh
right?
yeah,
So,
absolutely.
um, I always joke, I might not cook, I might not clean. So, you're benefiting from this? No, but he's great with the experiences for sure.
Yeah. I
Well,
will say
shout out to Paul.
yeah, literally. Shout out to Paul. I will say real quick, the one thing, that I always tell you that I admire about you, Star, is like how confident you are. And even if you feel like you might not be confident or this and that, or there's like certain things that you can achieve or whatever, I feel like on the outside, you've always exuded that, whether you're like battling that internally or not. And that's one of the things that, attracted me to you so quickly is because I never had anyone in my life that's like that. So when I'm thinking the whole time I've known you, you've been that way. And we always say like you are what you attract, and I felt like you were always putting out such confident queen energy, always,
Love
ever
you.
since I've met you. And so to me, I think that shows like how you attracted Paul. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, girl, thank you. You're so sweet. I definitely, who also said something similar? Our friend V. She's like, I was really nervous to meet you. And I'm like, why? She's like, I was not expecting you to be so sweet and just warm. I guess that's my alter ego.
Yeah.
Thanks, girl. I love you so much.
Let's read through some of the non-negotiables from our
Yeah.
audience. A lot of things that came up were non-negotiables, trust and honesty, which I feel like absolutely, emotional safety, having hard conversations, which I feel like goes hand in hand with like just being communicative. Like
Mhm.
you have to just be willing to communicate. One that I think would be a interesting thing to discuss. A few people said they can't be following a lot of women
Mm.
on social
Oh.
media, especially OnlyFans models. Um, yeah, no following OnlyFans IG thoughts, such an ick. So I guess from a women's perspective too, like, uh, are you guys following OnlyFans? You know what I mean? Like, and then or is it like hypocritical? But no, how do we feel about that? If you're talking to someone, I can't use Paul as an example. He would never. Um, so
He barely just got a social media.
Yeah, literally.
Literally, he's got, I call it his you know how celebrities have their little fake accounts?
Insta.
Finstas. Yes.
oh yes,
Insta.
yes, yes.
I joke with him all the time. You have a Finsta because he's got like no profile photo, no
Oh
posts,
dear.
literally just ghost in the wild. But yeah, how do we feel about it, ladies? I mean,
I I don't care. Well, first of all, you can't follow OnlyFans on Instagram, right? Isn't OnlyFans its own thing? So you have to like be a subscriber. Is that how it works?
so it's
No,
its
so,
own
well, they
thing.
have. Hmm.
But a lot of them are getting there, and I mean them as in hot gals. And shout out to all of them, because trust
Mhm.
me, if
Yeah.
the husband would approve, I'd probably have one. But
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of the gals have their and guys, so they have their OnlyFans account, but then they post on Instagram to get them over to OnlyFans
Right.
for
Hmm.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
personally,
like
I
their
don't
marketing.
care. Yeah, I don't care who they're following personally. It's if you're liking and commenting on their things, that's what would
Mhm.
bother me. Because I'm like, I'm not gonna sit here like and be like, oh, how many women are you following? Let me look at your followers. Like, you know what I mean? Like you've had a life before me. Follow whoever you want, but if I see you constantly like liking the stuff and commenting these things and the fire emojis and the heart eyes and the things like that, that's what gets me. That's why I'm like, okay, there's a boundary here, you know?
Yeah.
So I was in a situationship years ago with one guy who was following like, I don't know, 4,000 people, mostly these types of accounts, like women, I don't even know, like I don't even think they were bots, just because back then AI wasn't like that big of a thing, but OnlyFan type-ish accounts. And I thought it was a little bizarre.
Mhm.
Because he didn't really have that many followers, like maybe like a few hundred, So the optics just it was strange. And it was going up and up and up the whole time we were talking, like every day. I just happened to notice I'm not that much of a stalker, a little bit, but 40 new people, 60 new people in a day, like
Yeah,
that
that's
Mhm.
crazy.
weird to me.
Yeah. I do think it's weird if you are a man and you're on social media just to be following other women, it's a no, it's a hard pass.
Right.
Like, why would I want to be with you if you're following 1,000 women? Of your 1,001
Thousands.
following, like, why are you all 1,000 of them women and half naked? You know what I mean? Like, sure, they're hot. I can think they're hot all day long, but why is that your favorite pastime? You know, doesn't make any sense to me. But
It's a it's almost like, it's a very obvious kind of, because obviously I'm sure a lot of people watch porn too, and it just never was my thing. In college, my girlfriends like had it up once on the computer, and I was like, okay. But I think for it's like even in relationships, because we can take this there too. Like, how do you
Hmm.
feel about your partners watching porn or even just like infrequently here and there? I don't know if we want to dive
Mm,
into all that today, but
that's a trigger for me, I'll tell you.
oh,
Yeah, so like I could have a whole episode about that. But
give us the cliff notes.
I think for me, so I would say in the beginning, like not the most recent months, but like in my past, I'm like, okay, if you want to watch porn, or if you've watched porn before or whatever, like that's fine once in a while type of thing, or like I'm not around, or like, where someone's on vacation or whatever, like you need to take care of yourself, whatever, go do it. But I have found that I feel like a lot of the times that leads to like other things and with some people, and so and also I am a religious person and so I would prefer them not to watch porn, basically is what I'm getting at because I just feel like it can lead to other things and I feel like that's just like gunk in your brain when you could be focusing on me and like my body and like being intimate with me. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
Um, and I will say a while before I was thinking like I think I was insecure about it as well because I'm like, well, why do you need to watch porn or why do you want it on when I'm right here? Or you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, are you getting off to me or are you getting off to the porn on the TV? You know what I mean? So like all these things were going on in my mind. And then once I like kept, I've been religious for a very long time, but like it's much on a much deeper level now. And so I think once I was getting those deep levels, I was realizing that like I would rather them not watch porn because not only will it cause like insecurity in me and think thoughts like that, but also it could progress to other things as well. And so
Yeah.
I just am not for it
I
ultimately.
agree. I am all the way there with you. I think porn sets this level of expectations that are just not realistic. So it's like if you're watching this every day or even once a week or whatever, now your expectations are here.
Mhm.
I'm realistically gonna be not there. So it's just the dynamic is now, it's just no bueno for me personally. And Huz knows. I'm not gonna put his business out there, but he knows. And he
Paul's gonna
had
love this episode.
I know, right?
I
Let's call
know.
this episode Paul.
Our new podcast is only giving him slight anxiety.
He's our next guest speaker.
Yeah, exactly.
Paul on the show.
But I feel like if he were here, he would tell you the same thing. Like, Star asked me not to watch, and
Mhm.
and so I don't. The only other side of that is now he kind of wants to do it all the time, but so
I
I gotta
mean,
I need to
I'd
take
rather
some.
that than the alternative, to be honest. So,
Right, exactly. I just need a little testosterone boost. That's all. Brittany hooked me up.
One that I got that I did really like a lot. She said, "Protect my name. If I'm present or not, don't let people disrespect me."
hmm
That was
I
her
love that
non-negotiable, and I
one.
loved that.
hmm
That's so good. Your audiences are, I'm sorry to mine, I didn't actually ask you, but your gals are so smart. I love this for them.
I got similar things to you, like trust, respect, loyalty, all of that. Which is obviously definitely a non-negotiable. I wouldn't even call them like standards because I feel like they should just already come with that. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
feel like that's just
yeah.
like a no-brainer.
The
You
clear
Mhm.
communication, loyal honesty,
just
that's bare minimum.
yeah.
Yes, thank you. Those are bare
Bare
minimum.
minimum. I actually got some. guys' responses as well.
Ooh, what'd they say?
And I think I also have smart guys too, that they openly communicate, loyalty and communication, honesty and trust,
Hmm.
growth, maturity, selflessness. I was like, okay. And this is why I weed out specific people are allowed to follow me. My male following is very low for a reason. The ones that are there, it's
Um,
because they're intelligent.
Yes. Yeah.
So loved that they contributed to that too. Another big thing was just safety. A lot of them were like, I just want to feel safe with them.
mhm.
And I think that when men hear that word, they're like, oh, I could protect you, I could beat someone up. It's like, no, emotional safety, bro. Like,
Hmm.
come on. So those were some really good ones. Never leaving during an argument, the safe space. Someone said to be a protector and not a bitch.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's a spicy one. A
To
little
be a
spicy.
protector and not a. That one sounded specific, listener. Who was that one
I
about?
know, right?
Like, so the other question we asked was, which kind of goes hand in hand with our non-negotiables, what do you feel is bare minimum, but they feel is princess treatment? And I also asked for the guys on that because guys were answering, like, what do you feel is princess treatment, but they think is bare minimum? So I have a couple of answers on that too, Fallon. What did your audience say?
Well, mine, I already kind of went into that earlier about what they said with the door opening, the car, like paying, things like that. But I will say I did get one response from a guy, and he said that giving the auxiliary cord for their music in the car. So I'm like, I guess I
Is
should
that,
have
wait, is that
asked
bare
a little
minimum or is
more.
that princess
Yeah,
treatment?
I was gonna say, I guess I should have asked more, like, are you saying that like that's princess treatment, like for her, like that she's asking you that? But I honestly think he meant it like reverse.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay, like
Okay,
that should be bare minimum. Share
yeah,
your music,
love
ladies.
that.
Don't hog that shit.
yeah, exactly. So
Because
I
I'd
thought
be
that,
hogging it, so
yeah, because
like
that's a good one. Because I feel like there, no matter
ah,
what car you're in, there's always a person in there that's like, oh, let me plug in my music, or let me play this, or you know what I mean?
yes.
Um, and
Wait,
it
so
did
he
kind of,
wants the ox or he wants to give her the ox?
I think he wants the ox.
Oh,
Um, yeah, I
Uh,
know you're listening right now, so DM me and tell me the rest because he
need more
loves
details on this.
he loves the podcast, so I'm sure,
oh, we love you too.
yeah,
Thanks
he'll
for
be in my
listening.
DMs. But him saying that made me think that not only is that a thing, but also the TV remote is a thing. So
Ah,
ex-fiance who, I talked about on one of the most recent episodes where he was like my best friend, best guy in the universe.
yeah.
Um, well, one, we always like to watch the same thing, so I don't think we ever had any issues with like the TV remote or whatever. But if I wanted to watch anything, like I love reality shows, I love girly shows, dating shows, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, all that stuff. And one, he actually enjoyed watching all of those things too, so it wasn't a big deal. But also knowing that like he would give me the remote no matter what. Even if it's something he didn't even want to watch, like he would just sacrifice just to watch it with me. Whereas fast
Oh,
forward to my ex-husband, he would never, ever let
What?
me have the remote.
Oh my
ew.
God.
So
Oh,
yeah,
Okay.
it just was like, yeah, it was, yeah, not good. But that
ew.
made, so the whole radio thing or auxiliary cord thing for the music made me think about like the TV remote is a thing too. I know it is in houses, especially
Yeah.
when you're working all day, you just want to get home and watch your favorite show, and then your partner's like, nope, we're watching
Oh
this
my
tonight. You know what
God.
I mean? And that's how some massive fights go down.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Foul in that household. Don't. It's like, let me go to my room and just turn on my phone. It's
Yeah,
fine.
literally. It's fine.
Some responses I got, so bare minimum that they may think is princess treatment. Anything to do with the car, pumping gas, opening doors, fixing the car. So we talked about that's bare minimum.
Love that. Love
Okay.
that for you.
Anything to
Stars
do with,
debatable.
well, because what if you're
Are
dating?
you gonna fix your tire?
Well,
Or are you
I
gonna call
personally,
Paul?
I'll take it to AutoZone, Discount Tire. Because what if you're with someone who's like, I know nothing about cars? It hasn't happened to me, but I've got to
True.
think about.
Would you call your partner and they, even if they don't know anything about cars, they would come get you, something like that.
Oh,
Like
yes.
I'll take you to, just kind of like the manlier side
Gotcha.
of it maybe,
Yeah, okay. Like step
or at
up,
least
make sure
pumping your
you're
gas.
okay. Yeah, I do like that too.
Yeah.
That's helpful.
Yeah. So she's saying bare minimum. What do you guys vote? Bare minimum or princess treatment?
Bare minimum. Easy.
I still gotta go princess treatment.
Ah, my heart. Okay. Caring for me on my period. You know that this is a bare minimum thing for me. But what do you guys think? Bare minimum or princess treatment for a man to care for you on your period?
Bare minimum, 1,000%.
Same,
I
ditto.
have to carry your future child. You're taking care of me every month. I'm not suffering alone.
Taking initiative, courting me, opening my door, sidewalk rule. You guys know what sidewalk rule is?
Oh yeah, where they put you on the
Oh,
inside.
Mm-hmm.
Love.
Flowers. Princess treatment or bare minimum?
bare
Bare minimum.
Mhm. Okay, this is from a mama. She said doing bedtime. My son's bedtime routine is like an hour long and I do it every night. She works all day. So she's saying doing bedtime would be bare minimum for her and what he considers princess treatment.
For her
You got to
partner.
have balance. Her partner thinks it's princess treatment.
for
Oh,
her, like if she
mm-mm.
would want him to do the bedtime every night.
Or just even just do bedtime.
Swap. I would say
Yeah, do
take
sometimes because she does it every
turns.
night. Yeah. So it'd be bare
Yeah,
minimum to take turns, in my opinion.
same. Yeah.
Okay, I
Why
see.
am I doing it every night? I did not have
Yeah.
this kid on my own.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
I
Agreed.
know, and I will say I know. Well, you did say she works all day, right?
Yeah, I think he works too, but I know she also takes him to all of his practices, all of his school stuff. So
Wow.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah,
Mom of
definitely,
the. Ooh.
definitely trade off. Because I'm like, I know there's some houses where it's like if you're not if I'm working all day, I expect you to have the kids or whatever. Like I have some old
Mm-hmm.
fashioned in me, so it's like those things I do understand and I do agree with. And especially like say if you're out
Yeah.
running all the errands and I take care of like you know morning routine and bedtime routine, absolutely. But yeah, no,
Balance.
you need balance for
Yeah,
sure.
balance for sure. Yeah, so I think it would be bare minimum for them to take turns on that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Putting a roof over my head and food.
Oh,
She's
God.
saying this is bare minimum. And I would agree with putting a roof over my head thing because it's more traditional vibes. Like I'm one, like I like to make my own money and I like to contribute, but like I want to know that you can do it.
My question to her is, how soon are we talking? Because if you're telling me we're on date one, sis, and you want him to put a roof over your head and feed you 24/7, then yeah, that's princess treatment. But if you guys are in a relationship, committed to each other, you know what I mean? Absolutely. I feel that he should be able to
Yeah.
provide those things to you.
Yeah.
Uh, Gosh, I'm really torn on this one. And I think it's only because I'm such a huge fan of tr at least trying, like obviously things are going to be like depending on the career,
Hmm.
trying to equally contribute if possible. But I would definitely want to know like together we can provide the home and we can provide food, but I
Hmm.
don't want to say it's all on you. I just
But I
no.
guess let's reframe it to thinking, is it bare minimum though to want to provide that for your partner? Or is putting a roof over your head princess treatment?
No, yeah, it's like
Oh, to
they
want
can do all
to.
those things. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely bare minimum to want to.
Mhm.
Okay.
She's like, hang on.
This one says affirmation, so just making sure you're getting your words of affirmation. Is that bare minimum or princess treatment?
I'd say bare minimum.
I agree.
I would too, but at the same time, I feel like that's also a love language. So maybe words of affirmation might not do it for some people, you know what I mean? But I guess if putting myself
Mm.
in her shoes, like if she's saying that's what she wants, then obviously, yeah, I would say that's bare minimum because
Yeah.
that's what you need to feel validated and to feel loved,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. I think being loved in your love language is something that should be bare minimum. I
Mhm.
also think that, not everyone knows how to love in certain love languages, so giving grace at the same time because I'm a nice
Absolutely.
lady. Calling and making plans instead of texting when convenient. Bare minimum or princess treatment. To get a call, to make plans rather than just texting randomly or when convenient, hey, what are you doing?
Oh, yeah, no, bare minimum.
Mhm.
Well, but I mean, you can text me the plans too, that's fine. But last minute, all the time, no, thank you. Because who else are you making
And
plans with?
making plans is bare minimum, I think.
Yes. Making
Mm,
plans is definitely bare minimum.
mm,
Right. And then I have just a few more that I think because I had a lot about the car thing, like opening the door. All those kinds of things were pretty common, and that is absolutely bare minimum. Your
Hmm.
door should be opened. Like we know we can do it
Interesting.
ourselves,
Huh.
but
I'm stumped. I'm still stumped by that one because I
Really?
literally am. I am. It's just, I'm like, okay, I can do
That was
it.
like most of my answers too.
That is so
yeah.
crazy because I feel like I never see any guys opening any doors.
Yeah, where are you, men? Get it together. Get it together.
I was seeing this guy that wouldn't was kind of like Paul. He would not let me touch the door handle to get
Hmm.
in or out of the car. And at some point
Ah.
I was like, okay.
See, that's what I tell Huz all the time. If we're in a rush, I can just shimmy on out of here real quick.
Yeah, I was like, in certain times, I was like, I'll wait. That's fine. Like, I think it is sweet. I do like it, and I'm not going to complain because, the whole like, oh, we're never good enough. Like, that's good enough. Yeah, thank you for opening my door. But when I could just hop out and run in and come back out, like, it's so much faster. So it just be like a little bit more.
There is a fine
I'm
line.
also strategic here.
Yes.
I did get, so one was like cooking food, going on lavish dates once in a while, and then driving and paying for gas.
Okay, the
So I was like,
paying for gas part, how long have we been a thing?
yeah. And like, where are we going to? And why is it my gas tank you're filling up, or is it you? Like, what? I want more questions about that because
Yeah.
what do you
Again, if
mean? Like,
it's
if I'm driving to you an hour away, yeah, you could pay for my gas if you want.
mm-hmm, that'd
That's
be
a
You
good
nice.
know,
point.
That'd be
That's a
sweet.
good point.
what? I can't think of another reason why I'd be like, yeah, pay for my gas, or like expect them to pay for my gas, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I know I have some girlfriends that like if they're just driving around doing errands or whatever and like their, partner is driving the car and then notice that you're low on gas, they'll stop, pull over and fill up your gas and I love that for them.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's
That's
so
sweet.
sweet. I don't know
Yeah,
how if I would take that as bare minimum or princess treatment, honestly,
right. Because
because
I'm
it is
In
really
that
thinking of
sweet.
that. Because it's like it's sweet and it's thoughtful, right? So like that's bare minimum. You want them to be sweet and thoughtful. But at the
Hmm.
same time, I feel like for me, it probably wouldn't be an expectation for you to
right.
Right.
pass, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
I think, yeah, if I was in a relationship and then they just did that, or they're like, oh, your gas was low, I took it to get filled up so you wouldn't have to go in the morning kind of vibe, like that's so
Mhm.
sweet.
Love that.
Yeah, I think that would be cute.
You know what, Britt? And what you said made me think how you're like, oh, if I'm driving an hour, it would be nice for you to pay for my gas. Like, amen, I agree. How do we feel about flying, to visit people halfway across the country or even 2, 3 hours away
No,
and you're paying for your travel? Tell me, ladies, do you agree with that? Or do you think the guy should
no.
be, your partner should be paying?
He should have bought your plane ticket, your hotel room. He should be feeding your ass. No,
period.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
no.
Okay, so we're all on the same page?
That
Yes,
we're
we are.
Okay, just
blows
checking.
Mhm.
my mind.
Again, one of those things, girl, where we were saying earlier, you're just so giving, giving, and caring. And now look at you now stepping into your own power and
Yeah,
recognizing that. So I'm happy for you.
thank you.
Yeah, and I'll say like specifically for that scenario, it's a hard pass. If if there was a committed relationship and there was balance in the relationship that was occurring for it to be like that, then sure. Like, yes, if we were doing long distance, we would have been seeing each other for a while. I'm going to contribute to this as well. You know,
Okay.
I get it
Yes.
that, if we want to see each other, it's probably going to be more feasible for me to buy a plane ticket here and there also, you
Hmm.
know? But again, that's a committed relationship, and that person has implemented trust enough for me to be like, I trust this situation to go where it's going. So
Yeah.
there's that balance side of it too, I think.
Right.
Okay.
It's not like we're sitting here like, oh, everyone has to pay for everything. No, it is, if there's a respect, the respect will be reciprocated.
Yes,
You're
exactly.
saying in a committed relationship, yeah, like obviously you can contribute as well. But outside of it not being committed relationship and like they're wanting to see you, you were wanting to see each other, do you feel that they should still be paying like to fly you out? How do you guys feel about that?
I feel like it should still be equal parts. Like if I'm coming to see you or if you're coming to see me, we can just take turns equally investing in this because you want your partner to be not just emotionally invested, but also the same amount of or some similarities, just some kind of investment, right? Whether it's financial, emotional, time, attention, even just the flying to come to where they are because now I have to take off time from work and block my schedule and things like that.
That's how I always looked at it. Like it should be equal, right? Brett, what do you think?
I think it depends. I think at first, I think this scenarios depend. If I've met someone in real life here, let's say I just met someone here and we hit it off and things were going well, and they were like, "Oh, I don't live here. Would you come visit me?" That kind of thing. If you're gonna pay for me to come visit you first, yes. But if I just met you, I'm doing a lot to come to see you, and it's not to sound like snobby, it is I don't know you. Why am I gonna spend hundreds of dollars? And they could say the same thing. Well, I don't know you. Why would I spend $100 for you to come see me? Then don't. Like,
Exactly. And
I'm not
that's
gonna
what,
pull out my credit card and spend $500 to come see you when I just met you for, whatever. But if it's like we're talking and it seems like it's headed there or it's more serious, then yeah. And I think I also wouldn't be first to go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I think just for women, I don't feel like that's a safe thing to do. And that's just my personal opinion. They can come out here to see me if they want
Mm-hmm.
mhm, that
first,
makes sense.
like that. And then, if it is serious and it feels like again that safety, most of my decisions will be based on safety and respect. Like if they're respectful to me and I feel safe with them, then yeah, then of course I feel like after that, like it could be equal parts. Like I'll pay for this trip, you pay for that trip. Okay, that's great. But it is like first and foremost is the same thing as like a man dating you or courting you right now is he's gonna plan the date. He's gonna come pick you up. He's gonna take you out. Great. If you live on the other side of the country, you can plan that. And I will come visit you or you come visit me, and then we can go from there. I was just gonna it's scenario based. It is always dependent on what the situation is, who it is, and what is established already in that space, I think.
Yeah. What I was gonna say also is, before, like I said, with Star that I would agree, like that it would be equal, this and that. But honestly, now that my like expectations, I guess, are changing, and I've been talking to a lot of people about this, and most of the girls I talk to say absolutely not, I would not be paying to go visit him anywhere. Like I would expect him to pay. I'm like, okay, that's fair. But then part of me was like, I don't know, because I am, such a giving person and I do like to meet people halfway, you know what I mean? So it's like I'm still thinking like, yeah, is that princess treatment? Like you to expect him to pay for everything? And then I talked to a guy at work that definitely like he's not a relationship type of guy. Okay, let's just put that out there. Not one bit, okay? And I would talk to him about it, and he straight up said that he would never have them pay to fly out to see him, that he would always pay to for them to fly out to see him. And he's not even talking about relationship. He's just talking like to get dick down. So, you know what I mean? So when he said that, it was like a light bulb went off in my head. I'm like, this guy who doesn't even want a relationship, who isn't even doing this for a relationship, for someone he loves or cares about, he's just doing it just because, he's horny. And he's like, no, absolutely.
Right.
I would pay for them to come here.
Yeah, yeah. It's that level again of I mean, even just, I guess, for dick down investment, right? So,
Yeah, exactly. Because you invest in things that matter to you, right?
yes, yes.
So, mm-mm.
Yeah, I think for me, like the more I am kind of balancing my feminine and masculine like energies, the more that healed masculine man is going to sound more like he's going to lead, number one, and he wants to be the caretaker in that way, like financially. And it's not to say like, oh, I want my woman in the kitchen, blah, 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 doing whatever. It's to say like, I can take care of you and I want to take care of you, even if you could take care of yourself.
Exactly.
Because I think a
Hmm.
lot of women our age now are like, we like to make our own money, you
Hmm.
know, and we like that freedom aspect of it too. But a man feels needed the
Yeah.
most. Like he feels the best when he's needed in
Yes.
that way. So I think that there's a lot of like gray area on like, oh, they just want you for your money. They just want you to spend all your money on them, blah, 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 blah. It's like, it's not about that. It really isn't. Like you can live a $75 flight away. It is the concept of that masculine, that healed masculine space coming through to say, I'm going to take care of my woman. I'm going to show you how much you're going to feel safe and secure in this relationship. I got you.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
then you, as a woman, can feel safe and secure and be that nurturing
Hmm.
woman that he wants.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
and that, by the way, a healed masculine man is bare minimum.
And not a narcissist.
Yes.
Ah,
Two men responded to this one only. So the other one had a few, but only two. So one is a married, well, they're both in relationships. Um, so what do you feel is princess treatment, but your girl thinks is bare minimum? He said, being on call for solving every problem that arises.
Oh, yeah.
so he thinks it's princess, but she thinks it's bare minimum.
Yes. That's how I take it. That's how I worded it. So that's how we're going to take it for the purpose of
Okay.
this.
Being on
So
call for
he
every problem.
thinks,
That's a given. That
yeah,
should be bare minimum. Yeah, you're gonna
again,
be on
man of the
call
house,
for
right? Like, I'm
come
sorry.
over, come over here and kill this bug.
Yeah.
What did I call Paul for recently? I mean, just the tiniest little, how do I fix this TV screen? Like, flat tire. I did actually call him for a flat tire. And that's the thing, you're speaking and stepping into that healing masculine energy is okay, no problem. I got you. I got you. What do
Yeah.
you need? What do you need me to
They would
do?
have no problem. They would have no problem. That's what I think. Like, if you ask your man, your partner to do something and they have a problem showing up for you, that's a problem.
I
And it's
think
for you
so.
too. If they come to you with a problem and you're upset that they're coming to you with a problem, that's a problem. Like it's not just him or you or what or them or you. It is like, are you guys showing up for each other?
Yes, I was
Like
gonna say it goes both ways,
it goes both
like
ways.
what do you need? And I guess, like the lady with the baby, that's a great
Mhm.
example of how they could interchange. And then what's your
Yeah.
last one, Boo, before we wrap up here?
Um, he said it's not in our vocabulary. We just try to be selfless, intentional, and thoughtful. And I said, oh.
That's super cute.
So they don't
Yeah.
do princess treatment or bare minimum. They don't use those words in their marriage. They just do that, be selfless and thoughtful towards each other. And that's really like what it's all about because we are going to do the same for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is in our nature to want, I mean, again, there's healed women and there's healed men and there's toxic women and there's toxic men. Like, it's there, but healed women want to show up for you too. They want to make you feel safe as well. They want to make sure you feel secure in the relationship too.
Hmm.
So when, we just, men show it one way and women return the favor in another. Men lead though, and women will follow. So however you treat her is how you will be treated.
Love that. So-
Yeah,
And
and
I
I
will
think at the end, oh, go ahead,
say,
boo.
side note, for sake of controversy, I actually do not agree with the one before this that you guys agreed to about,
Which
yes,
one?
I don't.
Wait.
So I'm just gonna say, for anyone out there that's listening that doesn't agree, you're not alone. About the having to be available to solve every little problem. Like when they said that, it literally triggered me into my last relationship, my marriage, because I literally had to be the problem solver for effing everything, everything, like no matter what. And a funny random example is I was looking through my reels the other day and I had made a reel about how, oh, you can send your husband to the grocery store with a picture of what you need, the aisle, where exactly it's located, like all these things, and he will still call you and be like, "What is it? Can you where?" Like, and then I'd have to be on FaceTime looking down the aisles. Okay, it's over here, no, down to the left, this and that. But it's just like that's just part of my relationship, how my relationship was. But every little thing, if I was not with him, my phone would be going off every second, helping him with this, asking him about this. What do I do with this? How should I say this? And I'm just like, bro, do you have any self-sufficiency? Like, how, you know what I mean? So I definitely think there's a fine line, but the way
Mhm.
that what that answer was worded, when it said something like, "Oh, every little thing" or something, I just was like, "No, absolutely not."
Oh
Like,
no, for
able to
foul.
do some things on your own. Okay, so
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
but so if he is the one, if your man, if you were calling your man, can you come fix this? I
mhm.
need help with this. Could you pick this up from the store? Could you kill this spider? Is that bare minimum or princess treatment for from you to him? If you were going to him with every problem, then how would you feel?
See, I still just I get it. I'm just thinking extremes here. Like if we're just
Uh-huh.
talking not extremes, 100%. But I'm just thinking because I'm around a lot of guys too. So I
Hmm.
see them, their phones will be blowing up with this, and the other, and I need this and help me here and do that. You know what I mean? And so it's like I can kind of see it from their perspective too, just like, okay, just like can you handle a couple things and I'll take care of the rest or meet me have you know what I mean? So it's like
Can you
I'm
do anything on your own?
yeah, I'm just thinking like extreme, you know what I mean? Because that's just what
Yeah.
I've been around and that's just what I'm used to. But like basics, like, yeah, absolutely. I think that he should be available to you like whenever you need him for whatever you need, as annoying as
Yeah,
it could be.
But
But
there has to
in
be
my
a
opinion, I think
level
there's
of
got to be some kind of boundary there. Like you cannot be
yes,
blowing up my phone 24 or vice versa or whatever, you know?
exactly.
yeah,
And that's
and
what, yeah, I think it has to be, again, one of those balanced scenarios where you don't want to be the nagging wife or partner.
yeah,
And that's another thing that I think honestly bugs my husband because there are times when I am so independent, it drives him freaking crazy. And I'm like, well, then there's the other part of me where it's like, come kill this spider, dude.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah,
all about, for definitely needs to be more balanced on both sides. I love that Fallon was
absolutely.
like, hold up, rewind before we wrap.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening. This was such a juicy topic. I feel like we went on a couple tangents, so I feel like we could keep it going. But we'd love to hear from you guys. If there are certain topics that you want to hear us cover or certain conversations that you want us to have, feel free to DM us on IG at Three Way Call Pod. You can also leave a comment on Spotify or YouTube. And yeah, just let us know what you want to be hearing next.
Yes, please. We love your thoughts. We are so appreciative of you and can't wait for the next one.
Until next time.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.